let's come on to what you're thinking at the moment, because like many, I think you were maybe quite optimistic about the GNU, but I've noticed a souring happening, and it seems as if you're quite disenchanted now with the GNU. Is that right?
We need to get behind the GNU only because the alternative is too terrifying to imagine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
However, I would have hoped the GNU would have had a mission statement. This is what we're all about. This is where we're going. Yeah. This is what we believe in. These are the principles. This is what we're going to try and achieve.
Yeah.
They haven't done that. The only thing that matters in this country now is economic growth. Unless we can get economic growth, we're at less than 1%. Unless we can get it to 3, 4, 5%,
yeah,
we're never going to solve the unemployment problem. We're never going to solve any problems. We're just going to drift along as an underperforming country,
yeah,
by choice. And it's listen, I don't have to live here. I've got more than enough money to never work again. I've got more than enough money overseas,
sure,
not to have to put up with any hassle. I could just go and live in Florida or wherever.
Yeah.
But I love this country and I believe in it and I am a patriot and I never want to leave. I do this because I actually care.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we may not agree on, my hard capitalist free market beliefs. You may have a different angle on that, or
sure,
you may want to have a welfare element to capitalism or a softer side to it. But I think we do agree we need economic growth.
Yeah.
And in the GNU, not one of the ministries that can dictate or create economic growth is held outside of the ANC. And you've got the people who've been screwing things up for 30 years still in power and running the ministries that matter.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. I mean,
so it's where are we going to go? We're not going to get economic growth out of this GNU. That's why
I was quite shocked at how much the ANC was able to retain.
Yeah.
I mean, they basically got everything, and the DA contented itself.
I don't want to play poker against them. They'll clean me up. They'll clean me up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When it comes to negotiating power, the ANC
they did an
is
amazing
brilliant.
job.
Sadly, when it comes to the governing,
not so good.
Yeah, but really, I mean, the ANC runs the show, and I don't think many South Africans have actually appreciated that, because they assume that, well, I think there's a DA minister somewhere, and it's called a GNU. But the ANC cleaned up in the negotiations, if you ask me.
Full time, 100%.
Yeah.
And what worries me more is that, take Home Affairs.
Yeah.
Leon Schreiber.
Sure.
He went in there. There were 40,000 forms that hadn't been approved. He cleaned that up in 3 months.
Yeah.
They all got turned down or approved. Shoom, done. So what did Aaron Motsoaledi do for the 3 years he was in there? I mean, did he just sit smoking a cigarette looking out of the window? Probably yes. He is incompetent. And he's still the minister. He's now a minister of health, pushing NHI forward, which we know is going to bankrupt the country. Gwede Mantashe, $20 billion went to other countries because of Gwede's crazy mining charter and his inability to process mining applications. He now says he's going to have a transparent process to allow people to see where their mining applications are in the process. But why didn't he do that before? Yeah. Why is he doing it now? Because the GNU is in place. So things are being fixed within the GNU.
Yeah.
But I use this expression, it's just putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very worried about South Africa. And you did the fabulous interview with Prince Mashele.
Yeah.
And he said it's 10 more years of this. By the way, that interview, usually when I like an interview, I agree with most things and disagree with some things.
Yeah.
There wasn't a thing I could disagree with. He is, what an extraordinary guy.
Yeah, no, he definitely came out swinging. And I agree. I agree. My biggest fear is that South Africans love to put Band-Aids on the problem and then ride out the short term, and then we'll think about the long term later. And President Ramaphosa has been brilliant at this, because every few weeks he says, I've got a nice new Band-Aid for you.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen if nothing happens? And we invested all this hope in Ramaphosa,
Yeah.
I wasn't one of them, but many people
wasn't
did.
either.
Yeah, I recall. In fact, I think you burst the bubble in many ways. of
Thank you.
But then President Ramaphosa brilliantly was able to create a new kind of euphoria around the GNU. And I fear that, you may disagree, I fear that we're going to be so anesthetized by this new euphoria that we're going to wake up at the end of this term.
And
yes,
nothing's happened.
Yeah, a few things here and there, the DA ministers and some ANC, I think
And
Ramaphosa was... yeah, exactly, of course. And I think Ramaphosa has done a good job in electricity as well. But the core won't have changed, and we'll be back to square one.
And NDR is still moving forward. RET is still moving forward. And they are destructive vehicles, if they are vehicles. They're destructive narratives. And nobody talks about investment and growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very, very frustrated. So what is the option? There isn't an option. If I had a private meeting with Cyril, he would tell me, yes, we're going to focus on economic growth and I'm going to make the ministers, blah, blah. And then the next guy comes in, he'll tell them whatever they want to hear. And nothing will happen.
What do you make of the DA? Because, look, they're in government, as you say, some of their ministers seem to be doing good things. But at the same time, I've seen some of their supporters criticizing them for being co-opted, for not speaking out as loudly as they used to. What are your thoughts around that?
So I think they and Gayton and Nkata and are trying to make the best of it. I really do think they're trying to give it a full whack, and I respect them for that. Gayton said to me, Rob, we've got to get everyone behind the GNU. We've got to try and make it work. I get that.
Yeah. I
believe in that. But I do think the DA is selling its soul a bit. I just, the principles of the DA, free speech, free markets, liberal, Gladstonian liberalism is being put by the wayside somewhat in this GNU.
I think the ANC may have figured out that the DA will be able to take a lot more than they might have initially thought. And I think this Bella thing has been a case in point, right?
Great. Yeah, great example.
Yeah, the ANC has actually realized, hold on a second, I think we can push this even further than we realized, and they're going to stick around pretty much no matter what.
Yeah. But they were right not to walk out of the door on Bella.
Sure.
Sure. You're going to have to wait for a much bigger, more crucial crossroads for the DA to walk out.